melody of love remains, truth goes marching on. You might forget this.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Oh, good morning, and good morning, Robertson County. How you doing? This is 1100 WSG. I'm Eugene Laverne. This is One Street Over, and oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so glad you are here, and oh my goodness, we are initiating a new thing. We started this on Monday. Jamie Nixon came on in here, and we spent an hour just kind of talking about all the sports stuff happening in Robertson County. And we've been discussing this really kind of off and on for several months since we first met, that we needed to do this. Because this is what's been missing from One Street Over, is really following our local sports, because I am not a sports person. When they hired me at Greenbrier to be the audio video teacher, I said, I'm not your sports person. I can't do I just don't do that. Now, I'll let the kids do it and I'll support them. But I just don't follow sports. And unless I got a kid in the race, if I've got a grandkid out there, I'm like, ah. And honestly, as I'm watching my students get involved, they're mine. So I'm going to be out there to support them. So I needed help. Jamie is the voice of East Robertson, and I'm sure I'm going to get harassed at Greenbrier. He's like, "Why is that on there?" It's because he has stepped up, and he has taken on this responsibility to reach out to the other schools in the county and say, "Come on, you need to be a part of this," because we've really got to start giving these kids some recognition, man, because they work their tails off. And I was a high school athlete. So I get it, and I don't want to set that aside anymore. And so you're like, okay, let's do this. So we're going to do the first Monday of every month. It's going to be the hour show. And then on Thursday, 7 to 7:30, we're going to have just, okay, here's what's going on this week. Here's what's happening. And two, from the Connection, Robertson County Connection, we've got Blaine Kellar in here. And this is wonderful because when I first started doing this, we had a connection with the Connection that via phone, they would call in once a week. And so thank you. That's my long thank you and hello. How y'all doing? Welcome.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Either one of you.
Glad to be here. It's a little early coming from South Nashville, but
sorry about that.
It's all right.
There you go.
I'm always glad to talk about Robertson County sports.
I love it. Well, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to, if you've got any questions or anything like that for us, just be sure and send them up in comments, and they'll do their best to answer them. But one of the two things that we want to kind of reiterate from the conversation Jamie and I had on Monday. We've got two football teams in the playoffs. They are playing tomorrow night, so they're going to give us details on that. And there's a basketball jamboree coming up. So those are the things we got to cover. So Blaine, we're going to give you the floor. Talk to us.
Yeah. So Jamie, stop me if they've already heard some of this.
Well,
stuff,
they need to
but,
hear it again to remind. This is you have to several times. Yeah.
Well, Friday night, East Robertson at home hosting a second round game against Bledsoe County. The Indians are 10-1. Really rocking. Haven't lost a game since the first week of the season.
Oh man.
Just a star-studded cast and a lot of weapons on that team. And if they win, East Robertson makes it to the quarterfinals for the first time in school history. So
I love it.
There's a lot on the line there, and it's kind of interesting seeing the two teams that are on there. You've got Springfield, who's been in the second round 9 straight years, and East Robertson, who's been to the second round, for the first time since 2009. I got that right, 2009.
Right.
Yeah,
so it's been a while.
So you've got just this weird spectrum of two teams that are really, one's used to making it to the second round, the other isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Springfield, of course, on the road at Munford in the Memphis area. Of course, if you're not familiar where that's at, drive out to Memphis, go north, and you're there. It's not something that Springfield's used to. This is the first time that Springfield's traveled in the postseason since 2018.
Okay.
They're facing an undefeated Munford team who might have a bit of an easier schedule than what Springfield had just because of those Memphis area schools. The level of competition may not be at the same level in the Memphis area as opposed to Metro Nashville, especially when you talk about having Beach and Henry County in that schedule. So if Springfield advances, and my prediction is that they will, despite being kind of an underdog,
okay,
they have a chance of facing off against Henry County again. That was a game in week 6 or 7 of this season that was really one of the best games I think I've seen all year. It came down to a Philly special on the last play of the game. So
yeah, that was very unfortunate there at the end of the game to lose on a play like that. But definitely, Coach Dustin is not looking ahead. Right now, he's definitely taking care of business this week. And then once they get that win, I'm sure that he will have that team ready to go against Henry County.
I'm certain of it. I mean, whenever you make it to the second round 9 straight years, you know what to do at this level, whether you're at home, you're on the road, you're at a neutral site. And Springfield's faced all 3 of those outcomes. There was a couple of years ago, they had a neutral site game against Haywood, I want to say, and they had to play at Jackson Christian or something like that because of some weather issues. But so home, road, neutral site, I think Dustin Wilson's going to have his guys ready Friday night.
All right. Well, see, and there we go, guys. This is going to be a big Friday night for football. So if you can either travel to Memphis to cheer on, is there going to be, a lot of the times they'll have a kind of a caravan going. Are they going to do that? Are they going to leave from a certain spot for a playoff game, or is that usually a state thing?
I'm sure
you make it to state.
I'm sure they're going to.
Yeah.
I definitely think that, hopefully somebody there from Springfield. I'll text Terrence later on today from Social Dweeb Sports. You might want to check out his page as well on Facebook to see maybe even if they're going to broadcast, if you want to watch from home, if you can't make the caravan. I'm sure there's going to be people that travel. Springfield always travels really well.
They really do, yeah.
And it's kind of like East Robertson basketball.
Okay.
It's an exciting thing to watch. And, East Robertson's just fortunate to have all their playoff games at home.
Yeah, right.
So if there was a time to really make some history, this is the year for East Robertson to do it.
Oh, that'd be fun. So.
I'm not even sure, and I'll be truthful here. When I'm looking at these first round and second round matchups for East Robertson, I have no clue where Polk County or Bledsoe County are in this state. So, you kind of mentioned there, it's a good thing they're at home because honestly, I have no clue where these two teams are located geographically. I can tell you a direction. I'm certain they're out east.
Yeah.
I just don't know where.
Right.
That's great. I love it. Well, that's what Google Maps are for. But we're tickled that they're going to come here. So we've got playoffs set up for East Robertson, always at home. So when Springfield wins this game in Memphis, will they be back home?
Good catch right there, Cookie. You almost
They
win.
will not.
Win.
Even if they win, they will not because Henry County will be the team that they face. Henry County was the team that beat them earlier in the regular season for that region championship.
Okay.
So that's a
they're
2-hour drive.
So they're not home for any of the playoffs. That's all right. They're just going to take it to them.
You need some upsets to happen. If they were able to get a home game, you'd have to have an upset or two.
You have to have the lower seeds win. Some people lower than Springfield, actually.
Okay, and it could happen. You know, I've seen some crazy things happen. My kiddos played at Good Pasture, so you know, and I had one go to college and play at Harding University the whole time. So we've been there. We've been there. So very good. We're talking with Jamie Nixon and Blaine Kellar. I knew I was going to forget your last name. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
It's just going to take me a minute. But Blaine Kellar, he is with the Robertson County Connection, and Jamie Nixon is with Nixon Pro Media, and he is a marketing company that would love to assist you in your marketing and social media needs. Wouldn't that be a bunch? Why don't you plug yourself there?
Well,
brother?
that'd be awesome. NixonPro.com. You can reach me at 615-543-1973. We are a media company that specializes in helping small to medium-sized businesses buy brain cells. You want to get customers, you want to get noticed in this digital era through social media marketing, website design. We create the content for you. We can manage your social media pages. But we are a full one-stop shop for a marketing agency. We can also do print materials, T-shirts, hats. Anything that you think of marketing, we can do it. But our fastball belt high is definitely social media marketing.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And I'm picking his brain too about, because I'm a photographer that's jumping back out there and trying to learn social media and all the things about Instagram and finding out how important Instagram is to a photographer. I appreciate that insight. So talk to him. He's a good guy and he knows his stuff. So how long have you been with the Robertson County Connection? When did you start that?
I technically started last November.
Okay.
So I guess it's been about a year and a week that I've officially been on staff. Mm-hmm. But I've been freelancing with the Connection and Main Street Preps as a whole, our parent company, for about 3 years.
Okay.
So I've been doing this a little bit despite me still looking a little young,
I love stories because I'm working with kiddos in audio video production at Greenbrier now. And one aspect of that, I've got several young people that just love sports, and I've one in particular, Chris. He's got it in him. I could see him being a sports writer or something like that one of these days, or to some degree. Did you set out, has that been your desire your entire adult life? We'll say that.
Not entirely. Actually, my first goal was to do something like this, to do broadcasting.
Okay.
I went to school for sports broadcasting, and that was something that I wanted to pursue for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And, you mentioned Terrence Summers with Social Dweebs. That's how I got my start.
Okay.
I spent one season, I believe it was the 2019 year, when they made the state championship. I was a sideline reporter, kind of, just recording some highlights and doing a halftime, pregame, postgame type deal. And it was there that I met former sports reporter for the Connection, Russell Venozzi. We made a connection. I started freelancing, and doors just kept opening for sports journalism, and now I'm here. So
that's great. I love that. I love those stories because there's always backstories when it comes to media, and it's almost never your intention. People talk about my traffic career. Trust me, I didn't set out to be a traffic reporter. There was another vision there, but God just will throw it out in front of you. And it's like, try this. And that's what you have to be open to in the media, because you just never know what opportunity is going to come your way. Very good. Well, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So where do we want to go next, guys? I know we mentioned the basketball jamboree is happening on Saturday, and that is to benefit the Stephanie Mason scholarship. And we were talking on Monday about her story. She was the assistant director of schools, and right after she retired, just a breathtaking story that she passed away just almost 2 weeks after retiring. And so in memory of her, I never knew her, but anyone who knew her, just phenomenal. And how the Robertson County kids were her kids. And so this is a scholarship fund to remember her. And it's going to be a great time. I've got one of my students is going to be out there playing. And so how is this going to work, the Jamboree? Do you have the schedule for us?
I do.
Okay.
So it's at White House Heritage on Saturday. Starts at 3 p.m. Admission $5, good for the whole day. You've got 10 quote-unquote quarters, 10 games that they'll play, and then a couple of halftime contests. First quarter, you've got Joe Burns and Greenbrier girls, then Joe Burns and Greenbrier boys. Third and fourth quarter being Heritage and Springfield girls, then boys. Then you've got Springfield and Joe Burns matching up in the fifth and sixth. That takes you to halftime, where you've got a three-point shooting contest for the girls, three-point shooting contest for the boys. And my favorite part from last year at that point is the dunk contest.
Yeah. Nice.
It was a really good showing last year. Graduated a couple of athletes, so I'm not sure how much how much dunking will go on this year, but I'm still excited to see that. And then the final 4 games, East Robertson versus Greenbrier girls and boys, then East Robertson versus Heritage girls and boys to close out the night.
Okay, so about what time? Because I've got to go to the races. I'm committed to Veterans Motorplex this weekend. This is their final race, and so I'm going to be there. But I would love to get by there and see some of it, because the races are actually happening earlier because of the cold temperatures, and so racing's starting at like 2. So I might get done in time to get back over there. What time will this go until?
If I'm remembering right from last year, and Jamie, were you there last year?
I was there last year, yeah.
I think it ended around maybe 8.
Yeah, it made 8:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It goes on for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could actually get in there and see the last round of my Greenbrier Bobcats. Okay, it's going to be a busy Saturday.
Your Greenbrier Bobcats and my East Robertson Indians.
I heard that. So, what are you thinking? You going?
I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to make a trip to Ohio this year.
Oh man,
So
you're
I'll
gonna miss
be
it.
there. Yeah. So, but this is just what a great cause.
Yes.
And it's something good for our county to come together. Once again, even just to see our county do things like this, to come for that type of cause in memory of Mrs. Mason, I think that's incredible. And as we go forward with this stuff, with Blaine hopefully coming in on the Mondays on the long hour shows, bringing, of course, he'll have a lot of knowledge of all the county teams, and we invite any of those other county teams to have a representative contact us so they can come in on Thursdays. But we just want to, once again, we just want that information just to be brought to the masses. And one cool way of doing things is to get out to these events, especially like a jamboree where everyone from the county is going to be there. And so that's where that you can really come see some of these kids participate in some of the things that we're going to talk about throughout the year.
Absolutely. I just can't say enough about how excited I am to open this door. This is something that ILU Maldonado had really challenged us to reach out into the community to do. This is a Christian-based broadcast facility, but that doesn't mean we can't cover sports, and he would love to have that be an aspect of it. So I'm just challenging any of you guys that have a sports you have that sports broadcaster in you, talk to ILU, and if you've got an idea, get your sponsors together, and there's these airways are open and available.
And one really cool thing is that we're all connected to. We just had a huge in the past couple months, there's been a huge FCA banquet in Springfield for Roberts County, and then in the Roberts County White House, where it includes White House High School, Heritage, and East Robertson, over there at a community Christian school where Dr. Kevin Dyson just spoke for FCA. FCA is growing leaps and bounds in this county. Andrew Fortner and his wife Maddie, who, by the way, are expecting twins next year.
Wow.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So,
Congratulations.
Yeah, and so just seeing the stuff that's going on at FCA at all the different campuses is amazing. And I do want to point out that Jim Sorrells, the voice of the Bobcats, reached out to me this week. And him and a gentleman, my apologies, Kevin something.
Chriswell.
Thank you. Kevin Chriswell will actually be able to join us on some Thursdays as well.
Awesome.
So we're really trying to, it's not just about East Robertson. It's not just about the connection. It's about being very versatile and diverse and bringing a lot of different information to the people of the county. And I'll just be honest with you guys. Anybody watching, you need to follow Blaine. Blaine has a Facebook page and Instagram and a Twitter. If you want to see his work, he does a phenomenal job on Twitter, and that's where a lot of high school sports coaches, athletes, they all interact in the Twitter sphere. As I like to say. But Blaine does a phenomenal job. I'm just very fortunate I can make a phone call, and Blaine said yes.
Okay.
So
Very good.
I don't think we really understand how fortunate we are.
Thank you.
That Twitter handle is at sports_BK. So
Okay, do that again.
At sports, SPORTS_BK.
Very good. I love it. I tell you what, let's go ahead and pause for a moment. Talking with my new friend, Blaine Kellar. He is from Robertson County Connection. You need to follow him on all the things that Jamie just spoke about. Jamie Nixon's here. And yes, he is from East Robertson, but he is opening the door to bring Robertson County sports onto 1100 WSGI, and we're very excited about that. We're also very excited about all the things that are going on here at 1100 WSGI and our sponsors. Cannot say enough about those who make it possible. Corbin Corbin Creek Greenhouse, absolutely at the top of the list. Now you might say, well, it's cold. That means that I don't need any plants. Well, you do need house plants. You need those beautiful succulents. And I discovered this winter cabbage, this purple cabbage-like plant that I have put in my pots this year that is just thriving. I'm stunned. Even through I live down in a valley. I live down in the holler, as they say. And whenever everyone around me is not getting a hard freeze, I am. So I have a very hard time keeping things alive after it starts getting a little bit cold. This is thriving, and I'm just amazed with it. So I'm really excited to have discovered that. And there's so many things, perennials, that I have discovered. I picked up some discounted perennials just a few weeks ago when I was at Corbin. And I also see all the things. I've known all the things that they have going on. They have a lot of craft items, things that Miss Jane makes. I can't say enough about these little cozies that you put your soup in the microwave with to keep you from burning your hands, and aprons, handmade aprons, great for Christmas gifts. They've got homemade sourdough bread that you can pick up inside Corbin Creek, and of course they are your CBD source. If you're somebody like myself who is interested in CBD, and I'm interested in it because my doctor told me to use it. I don't like taking pharmaceuticals, and I don't take any, and I'm about to be 60, so I'm kind of proud of that. But I have really bad arthritis, and he told me that CBD might really make a difference. And actually, he knew the Corbins and recommended all of those things together, and it's just really amazing what it's done to help me. It may be a game changer for you. That's what they do throughout the cold winter months, is all of those things I just mentioned. Oh, and by the way, too, they are your decorating source for Christmas. If you want help with Christmas decorations, you need to get a hold of Miss Amy and Stephanie out there, and their schedule is very limited, so you need to call them immediately if you want to get on that schedule. And that number is 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. Now, remember, their hours have been adjusted because of the cold weather. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 4, Sunday from 1 to 4. When you contact them, please always let them know that their ad dollars are working and that you turn sent you. All right, back to the show. We've got a little bit of time left here. We're going to talk sports, Robertson County sports, and we're talking with the Robertson County Connection, Blaine Kellar, and my friend Jamie Nixon from Nixon Pro Media, right? Did I say it right? All right, and so where do we want to go next, gentlemen?
I think we close out with a little bit of realignment news with the TSSAA. Jamie, what do you think?
Exactly. That was
Okay, what does that mean?
Okay, so it was big news. What was it, day before yesterday, or was it yesterday?
I believe it was the day before.
Before yesterday. And what happens is TSSAA, some teams have to move up and move down in classification, and they're always looking at trying to make the regions better. Which sometimes they have to look at it from a geographical standpoint, but you also got to look at it from a classification standpoint.
Okay.
And
is this anything like congressional redistricting? I'm sorry, my political mind went,
well, so
that's what it sounds like, kind of.
Well, let's just talk about, I believe we don't have a single school in Robertson County that's in the same region, do we?
It's changed for every team, especially for football when you kind of look at how that's changed.
And so let's talk just football right now.
We'll just talk
football.
Sure. Okay. Region 4-1A to go down the list here. Clay County, Gordonsville, Joe Burns, Red Boiling Springs. That's about the same.
Okay.
I believe there might have been one less team in that region. I think it was Pickett County that was supposed to be in there. They took a couple of years off because of playing a junior varsity schedule only.
Gotcha.
So they weren't able to play in that region, and that kind of stayed the same. Everybody else has changed at least a little bit. In Region 3-2A, we talk a little East Robertson. York Institute, East Robertson, Jackson County, Monterey, Smith County, Trousdale County, and Westmoreland. You've got a lot of tough teams in that region.
And we have a lot of miles.
Yeah, a lot of mileage on that too. Monterey, East Robertson, York Institute, Smith County, and I believe one more in there are all playing in the second round right now. And Westmoreland.
Yep.
Yeah, all those teams are in the second round right now, and Smith County's in 3A. They just won their region in 3A.
And they're dropping.
They're dropping down to 2A.
Yeah.
So that's a bit interesting. I think that's going to be a really competitive region, and like you said, a lot of travel involved for a couple of schools there.
Because you have like 3 schools in there, from Cross Plains door to door is over an hour and a half, some of them 2 hours.
Oh, that's
Lots of travel.
And so that is vicious. And I've actually made the joke, I don't, for what I do, I don't take any money, but I will be taking a gas fund next year.
Oh, yeah, I can
Like a
imagine.
little, what is it? The little jug thing? What
yeah.
am I
It's like,
thinking?
yes.
The gas.
Yeah,
What's the name of
Yeah.
that?
A gas can.
Yeah.
Gas can.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Just slipped my mind there.
Yeah, trust me. Me too. It does it all the time.
Keep going down the list. Region 6, 3A. Cheatham County, Fairview, Stewart County, Sycamore, and White House Heritage. You lose Waverly and White House from that region. So, White House Heritage had a 1-9 season this year, but starting next year, they have a pretty good shot of making the playoffs under second-year coach Chad Broderick. Region 5, 4A stays as competitive as it's been. Creekwood, Greenbrier, Marshall County, Montgomery County, Pearl Cone, Station Camp, White House, Whites Creek. Really going to be interesting to see Pearl Cone and Station Camp match up in that one.
That's going to be a tough region, and I don't understand this, and I hope we don't bore you here, Laverne.
No,
Whites
I'm good.
Creek was in our region this year. They were moving up, and most of this is about student population.
Okay.
So they moved up from 2A. They were going to go to 3A.
And they chose to
and they
move
chose
up.
to go up to move to 4A. And I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, they only won 1 or 2 games this year.
They didn't win very many, and they haven't won very many in a long time.
Yeah, and Whites Creek, Blaine, I don't know if you know this, at one time was the largest school in Middle Tennessee, public or private.
Wow.
It was one of the top 5 back in the 80s. Whites Creek was one of the largest high schools in the state of Tennessee. And it
Falling
used to
on
be
hard times.
It used to be dominant. It used to be a very, very dominant high school.
And so they've chosen to play on a tougher schedule then.
Probably one of the toughest regions in
Yeah.
Middle
Really?
Tennessee.
That's
football.
bizarre.
Yeah, I don't really
It
understand
doesn't
that.
make a lot of sense. I don't really get it. Maybe it's better for them travel-wise, but I don't even see that really.
Not a lot.
Okay.
Closing out the region slates, though, Region 7, 5A, we kind of mentioned the travel that East Robertson is going to have. Look at what Henry County is going to have to do. Beach, Hendersonville, Henry County, Hunters Lane, Portland, and Springfield all in the same region. We had Dustin Wilson, Springfield head coach, on our Main Street Preps North show a couple weeks ago. He brought up the idea of Beach and Hendersonville being moved up or moved down since they chose to play down to 7, 5A. They got regulated there, and he thought that might fit in with Northeast, Northwest, and Kenwood leaving 7, 5A, and he kind of likened it to the SEC of 5A football, which it really looks like that right now.
That's going to be a very exciting region to watch, and I know Dustin plays everything very close to the vest, but I think Springfield will do really well in that region.
I don't
do,
know.
man.
You look
I
at-
just think they're going to step up to the challenge. I just do.
especially with losing Devin Crenshaw after this season. I think the first 2 years, and this is just my personal
Yeah.
opinion, I see wins against Hunters Lane. I see a win against Portland. Maybe a win against Hendersonville. I think they're probably not in the running at that point for a region title. They're probably still going to make the postseason, but that is brutal. And Coach Wilson said that multiple times when we had him on the show. He said that is a brutal region to play in.
And that's a great coach comment, but I'll tell you right now, Dustin will have those boys ready to compete night in and night out. And that's just, if you look at history, that's what he does.
Yeah.
And this is Springfield we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to stay with them. I'm
just-
not going
And just for the
Okay.
sake of Trent Cobb, who was
Okay.
watching earlier, Trent, hats off to your jackets.
Yeah. So very good. So bottom line, when it comes to our Robertson County schools, tougher or easier schedule? Go down through them. So where are we? What's for the Bobcats? Is it pretty much this?
For Greenbrier, it's pretty identical.
Okay, so not
it's
much
a very
change.
similar region to what they
Okay.
had. They'll return a lot of talent next year, so I think they might be in the running for another playoff spot like
Okay.
they were this year. But again, that region is very, very hard, especially now adding Station Camp, and you've got White House in there too, a team that beat them in week 2.
Okay.
So
Okay.
other teams, White House Heritage might be a little bit easier. East Robertson, it got tougher. Joe Burns, it's the same. Springfield, much tougher.
Okay.
Much tougher.
Okay. So our two big standout teams are hitting harder schedules next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
So, okay. Very good. I'm telling you, this has been fun, guys. I'm excited. This is just such a great start. It's been a great week to kind of kick this off. And thank you, Jamie. Any parting thoughts? I'm seeing Tiffany out there from United Way, so we'll have to slide them in here.
Yeah, do not want to hold up the United Way ladies and all that they do.
Well, Brian,
once
it's not
again,
ladies. Brian's
that's
out there
right.
too. Brian,
Okay. I just
he'll
want
appreciate that.
just a big shout out to Fellowship of Christian Athletes,
Yes.
Andrew Fortner. If you guys want to get involved in that, make sure you guys look them up. But I just want to thank Blaine once
Absolutely.
again. I think it's going to be a blessing for us to have his knowledge because he actually, this is his job. This is what he does.
Yep.
Yeah, I get
And
paid to do this.
There you go. There you go. I love it.
He's the professional here, so it's just great
Very
to
good.
have him.
Awesome. Very excited about this. We've got Blaine Kellar from the Robertson County Connection, Jamie Nixon from Nixon Pro Media, and just an awesome start to covering the sports in Robertson County. I'm so excited for this, and you're going to get this every Thursday morning, 7 to 7:30, and then first Monday of the month, you're going to get an hour show all about sports here in Robertson County. Thank you guys very much. I'll let you guys make your exit as I talk about my friends Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. Do you want to be part of a real estate team? That is something that might be coming to you because Barry and Rebecca both had different careers. They came to it, Rebecca out of a radiology background, Barry a marketer. He was a vice president of a marketing company, a media marketing company up in Nashville for 17 years. So how about bringing that to the table if you're buying or selling real estate? Her experience, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. His experience as a marketer to make sure your property is seen and everybody's going to get eyes on it so you can get top dollar. And again, all of that experience coming to the table to train you, to mentor you into the real estate field if that's something that you're looking into. Great possibilities for you. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but they buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. They are just, again, the whole package. Great friends up in Cross Plains. They've been there for over 20 years. And if you want to connect with them, you can go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy.robertsoncounty.com. The number to call if you want to connect with them right now, very easy, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. And when you contact them, please let them know you turn Cynthia. Tiffany Thompson is in the house with me. Trying to make sure I don't put that P in your name. Tiffany Thompson. I've been putting that P in there. It's so funny. We got talking about how people will misspell our names. I'm Laverne, and we live in we have Laverne. You have no idea how many people put a G in my name. It's like and an E. Anyway. Hi, Tiff. What's up?
Nothing much.
Where's Brian?
He's on his way. Carpool line got him today.
No. Drama. Little kids. It's always fun. What are you doing today? How are you doing?
We're doing good. Doing super good.
Well, I've got to tell you, I know we're promoting the Thanksgiving, the gift thanks promotion, and I've been trying to get my kids to do PSA. It's one of those things. I bring several things to the table in the audio video class. It's they've got their personal project they're working on. We have school news that we try to follow up on, and I always have a PSA of the week. So I had several started. None of them have finished it. And because they're working on the other things, and I was after my first class, none of them are really working on it. I had one couple of people that were working on it in my fourth block. So I'm going to really get on them today. I was like, I need you to do this. You've got this done. You need to do this because I want to push it. We did a piece too for Charlene's on here from my father's house. The sound's just not good on it, Charlene, but I'll send it to you. It's one of the first things we did, and we didn't have our mics yet. We didn't have our equipment in. But my father's house, guys, check them out, find out what's going on with them, go and see their new space. It's something that is so important to our community as we go into the cold weather months because we're talking super cold this weekend.
Well, and there are a lot of really cool ways to volunteer there. My family's volunteering Sunday night. We're doing a devotional and
That's
then
awesome.
bringing breakfast for the next morning. And so
your family, I love
family,
that because she's got she's got her big old tribe. How many kids you got?
I have 5 kids.
Well, see, I have 4, but it's like once you kind of, it's like you've just like passed over into something new and when you cross over past that 4, I'm like, but
my mom had 7.
Wow.
She used to say, well, 1 takes up all your time. So what's 7?
Yeah, exactly. My father was from a family of 9, my mother from 6. So but anyway. Yeah. Well, all right, sister, I'm guessing that the first thing on your mind is this give thanks and putting these boxes together and just unpack all that for us.
Yeah, so my family actually went and we purchased all the stuff for a box. And there's a specific list, so either you can make a monetary donation or you can buy all the things on the list. And so my family went and put one together since I had never done it before, and I wanted to kind of experience it. We actually made a reel for Instagram and Facebook with my kids putting together this box. So that was kind of fun. Nothing as fancy as like a PSA, but it was fun. And so we did that, and it cost us the boxes. I ended up buying a bunch because for the donations and stuff that we're gonna get. But so without the box, it ended up costing us just a little over $50 to buy. And that includes a $25 gift card, so they can buy turkey, ham, tamales, whatever, for their traditional meal. So, yeah, and so either you can buy it and bring it to us at the United Way office, or you can give us a monetary donation, and we'll go out and do the shopping for you. We need them we're trying to collect them all by Thursday the 17th, so a week from today. And then we'll be, there we go.
I'm trying to figure out how to share it. I wanted to let you see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see if I can share. Okay, I can. Fabulous. That's great. I love it. I love it. So that's an Instagram. What'd you call it?
It's a reel.
A reel.
Yeah, so Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, they both have reels. And so
see, I need to learn these things. I need to learn these things. But okay, I just shared it.
It's only like the second one I've ever done on Facebook, so.
Okay, well, I just shared it. It looks good. But you have the list there, and it shows you how to put it together and how simple it is and what a meaningful thing is for your kids to be a part of.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fun. The 16-year-old wasn't as into it as the rest of them, but.
Oh, really? 16 and not digging family time?
I think that's what it was. I think it was that I had my camera out, really. Like,
of course, it's like, ugh.
He actually does so much service in the community, but as long as I'm not documenting it, he's way more into it. So
that's great. I love it.
He goes every Wednesday and helps pack food for 10 kids, their backpack program. And so it was just that I had my camera out. He was just like, Mom.
Yeah, leave me alone. I get it. I've got 16-year-olds in my class. They're all wonderful, but what are you doing? Breaking my stuff. Ron walks in and he just starts breaking stuff. I'm telling you.
Right back there,
I don't know.
professional radio.
Were you listening as Jamie and them were exiting?
No, I have been just running with my hair on fire this morning, so I needed some silence after it's picture day at Coopertown Elementary School, and that is not a great day in our household, so you have a 9-year-old girl.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. We're still in the middle of it, so I tried to go back,
I'm sorry, I'm giggling.
That's all right. You have to laugh at it, man. You really do.
I can just imagine. I had a feeling there had to be some little girl drama in there.
I mean, if I'm out here on time, that's what's going on. I love her to death, but the wardrobe, the hair was a whole issue. And we knew it, and I saw when they landed on a Thursday, I was like, well, that's not good for
and she's only 9. Get ready. As she gets into her teens, it's going to be fun. Well, and what's really funny is Jamie was heading out. I said, well, we're going to wrap it because we're going to do a sports thing now prior to you guys every Thursday. And I said, well, let's wrap it up because I see Tiff out there. And he goes, well, I want to get out of the way of the United Way girls.
Girls? Hey, man. You know what? I work with our team on the fundraising team.
Yeah.
Forever, and now again, I am the only male on the team, and so I'm used to. I was raised with women. Man, it's just my life. I've been all surrounded by women my whole life.
I just said,
I'd be United Way. I'd love to be in the United Way Girls Club, but they don't let me in.
Part of us, we allow them.
They let me in.
I just had
what sports thing are you doing? What are you talking about?
Okay, well, we're doing. That has been a challenge from ILU for a while. We need to do the local sports. We need to really reach out, and so Jamie Nixon with Nixon Pro Media. Trent brought him in with the fair, and we got to talking, and I found out what he had going on, and he even mentioned, this has been months ago, we need to do this, and we just never did. So we finally we bumped into each other at a political forum up in White House, and I said, okay, I got an opening tomorrow, come on. And so he came on, and we just kept talking about it and looking at the avails that I had for every month, and so he's going to come on the first Monday, and there's going to be an hour show. And it's not just East Robertson, because he's all about East Robertson. It's going to be reaching out into the county and talking to all the people. And then, of course, Blaine that was in here, he's with Robertson County Connection. And so he's going to be a reoccurring guest. So we're going to do it an hour show first Monday, and then every Thursday morning, 7 to 7:30. It's just like, what's going on? Because, we've got 2 teams in Robertson County that are in the playoffs. second round playoffs tomorrow night. East Robinson, all of their playoff games going to be home, and then of course Springfield, they're traveling. Then we got this big basketball.
Springfield's playing actually like big schools, not like East Robinson's playing these tiny schools. So we play like real football. No, did I say that? No, I'm sorry.
Well, so here they have all this reorganization from the schools in their class and who they're playing and all that for next year. And the one point that was made from what they just said is that both Springfield and East Robinson are going to have to be playing in tougher divisions next year,
yes,
and more traveling and all of that. So but
I joke with East Robinson. I have one of my close family members went to East Robinson. He calls it a private school. He said he went to a private school out Crossways, so it's a running joke.
Gotcha. Oh, I know the rivalry between the schools is hysterical.
And we played them. They were the best basketball team other than Springfield growing up. Now they had some great state championship teams.
Yeah.
East Robinson, those were always fun games.
Yeah,
so
Jamie
it was back and forth.
He was he's from a basketball champion team, right?
Yeah. Is he playing on the team in the 80s? I would assume.
He was a state champ.
Is he? How old is he? Do you think?
I don't know.
Probably around our age.
Okay, he's probably on a team in the 80s would be my guess.
Yeah. So he'll let us know.
Oh, I'm sure.
But he was talking about how that he can put on his resume state championship team.
Yeah, we could have a good discussion.
Because we were talking about the
some
importance of athletics and resumes and all that on Monday.
It is.
Bring Brian in at half an hour.
I would love to sit in on that. You let me know when I'm invited. I'll come early. We'll sit down and talk.
Come on.
We can't just do like a 30-minute East Robinson pep rally in here. I mean, we are in the city of Springfield right now, so we gotta give Springfield a little love.
Well, they are, and so they're all going to come
I'm
in.
kidding.
I told him, I said, Jamie, you're going to get me in so much trouble at Greenbrier because they're going to be like, well, what are you doing having him in all the time? It's because he reached out and was willing to put this together.
That's a great segment, and you could expand that and maybe bring in some of the student athletes and something and honor them and different things. There's all kinds of stuff you can do.
Well, and I've had a lot of people that commented on the show that have encouraged me to do that. I don't know anything about it, so I don't even know who to call. I mean, I just don't know, and so that's why it's so important. So if you are a Robertson County sports enthusiast and want to be a part of it, just reach out to Jamie. He's the one that's scheduling it. So
I will keep my ears open to it. I know there are a few people out there that really would be good plugged in and love talking about it and have a passion and know the history a little bit too, which there's a deep history in this area for athletics. So very good
every week we're gonna touch on it, and it's something that we're bringing back to the airwaves here with One Street Over. Nice. And also we were talking about the playoffs. We've also got the basketball jamboree, don't forget, on Saturday. So that's a lot of stuff. So, all right, back to you guys before we get off track and run out of time.
I can't get and derailed the whole thing.
But anyway, we're just visiting. Yeah. This is what we do here. So, but we've got to really focus on and drive down on the give thanks. And I mean, what's the goal? Where are you as far as what you've put together? Where
totally put together is that one box at my family.
Thus far.
No. But we have quite a few that are spoken for. Like people have said that they're going to come. We're looking for about 40 more boxes, and so if you have it, if you're celebrating Thanksgiving at your mama's house and you don't have to cook, take that money and put it towards a box, or so that's kind of what we're trying to really get 40 more committed this week, and then we want them by next Thursday so that we can.
And we will also take cash and check donations too. We've had some of our civic organizations step up here locally, Kiwanis, Lions Club. I think I just got confirmation from Rotary this morning that they were going to kick in some money too. And so we will do the purchasing of that and kind of try to really use our buying power and get as much as we can for those. And so that's an avenue too that will help. So a lot of people are stepping up and we appreciate it, but now's the big push time, and we've got basically through the end of next week, and then we could maybe bleed into Thanksgiving week a little bit, but we try not to just because it's hectic enough for everybody else. So by the end of next week's what we're shooting for, but we're making the final push here. So
we're pushing for 40 more, but we will take as many more as we can get because we have people that are hungry, and we are great partners with United Ministries, and they will always make sure that our boxes get to those in need. And so we're excited to watch. It's just been really cool to sit back and watch people reach out. Hey, how can I help? How can I pitch in? Can I just drop by $75, or can I, like the Kawana's donation, we brought it up, and people reached into their own pockets and just put it in a basket for me and said, "Here you go." And we walked out of there $340 in 2 minutes.
Isn't that great?
It's amazing. It's just been amazing to have people like reach into their pockets. Lions Club just called me up, said, "Hey, we've got a check for $500." You know, no, we didn't ask them. They saw that there was a need, and they stepped up, and so it's been fantastic.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can identify with food insecurities, and you've been at points in your life where like budget was a little tight. You got down to the end of the paycheck period, and it's like I might be eating ramen noodles the rest of the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know we've all been there, and so I think people understand that, and particularly around the holidays. And we're talking about families as well. So this just doesn't feed somebody on Thanksgiving. It's not just a Thanksgiving meal. Those kids are home all weekend. That's a long weekend, and so it hopefully will feed a family of 4 for that entire weekend. And we know that's an extra strain, particularly with the groceries being as high as they are right now. I mean, I know our family is felt it, and thank goodness my wife and I have good jobs, and we've withstood it, but it's definitely been noticed in our budget as far as what we're spending on food. And so if you're already at a paper-thin margin with your budget, and then the groceries have gone up the way they have, I can imagine this is a very stressful time. You want to provide a good meal for your family and feed all these hungry kids over the weekend. You know, they're home from school. And so that is our goal with this.
All right. So you need at least 40 more.
40 more.
Yeah, and the boxes contain things like granola bars, goldfish, spaghetti sauce, noodles. You know, so yeah, like you said, it's not just your traditional Thanksgiving, but our family spends about $10 per meal, like a low-income family, and so a Thanksgiving meal is about $75. So if you are used to spending $10 on a meal, there's just no way to make up that gap. So anyway, we're super excited. And we're getting them in.
Yeah, we're getting them in. They come, and you know what? It's always funny. We put out the net, and you put out all the asks, and you're like, oh, we're going to get enough. And then this community, time after time, next week, they will just start flooding in our office. It'll come daily, and it never fails. That's why, like, I guess this is our 4th year doing it now. Is that right? Yeah, 4th year doing it. And so the first year we were really stressed, like, are we going to get enough? And then and now I'm probably not as worried about it because I've seen the community.
He keeps telling me, "Don't worry, we're going to get it." I'm like, but the numbers aren't adding up.
We put the asks out, they show up, and that people show up, and that's what it is. And it's going to come from all areas. I had people in my church last night that you had talked to, and they were like, "We want to do this." I didn't even make an ask there because we have a food pantry, and I was like, we need to be putting our resources probably towards our own. So I didn't want to bring my work stuff into it. But they were all right. No, well, our life group is doing it, and we're doing this, and so people want to help. They want to get involved, particularly with this one. It's an easy one to understand. It's like we need to help feed people around the holidays, or just take some burden off these families that are already probably stretched really thin with their food budget. So
I'm trying to get my students fired up to do one, and because I'd love to do one in my class, and it might be that we don't do it just in one of the audio video classes, or just like any of the students that come into my path and say, "Do you want to be a part of this?" And just see if we can't. I think we could at least get one. And so I started talking to them a little bit about it yesterday. I don't think they heard me because you have to say it like 3 or 4 times. It was like, oh, yeah, okay. It just.
You're telling me teenagers don't listen real well?
No, they don't. No.
I know nothing about that.
No,
we were
they
talking
don't.
about that when you came in.
That's the thing. Teaching. Oh my goodness! If I have so many teachers go, well, what do you think? I'm like, it's more than what I thought. That's one thing. I've never had disrespect for teachers. Some people are like, oh, they get the summer off, and I'm like, no, you have no idea. They're shaping young minds, and you've just.
They probably need the summer off to keep them going crazy.
Right.
Honestly and truthfully, yeah. Because I'm, and it's so funny. My precious husband last night. I had a particularly difficult 4th block yesterday. I just could not get them under control, and I think it's they were coming off a long holiday weekend. And I was just venting. And he was giving me all these suggestions, and I just rolled my eyes and I said, you have no idea what you're talking about because you've never been in the classroom. So
is it like a dad trying to tell a mom about going through labor? Is it just a similar situation?
And I told him, I said, honey, there's times when I just need encouragement, and you to listen, not to try to fix it because you don't know what you're talking about.
So your husband's defense, it's ingrained in men. We want to fix it. We can't help it, but I've learned to shut my mouth a little more. I know, but that's our first instinct is to help you fix it. That's what we want to do. It comes from a place of love, so I'm giving you her.
I know. But I'll just give you a little heads up. As your wife gets older, she's going to become less and less patient with that. She's going to be like, just shut up and just listen.
You're kidding me, Laverne. I have not seen this at all.
We've had to I have to start the conversation. I'm just venting, just so you know.
Yeah.
I'm just venting, and he's like, okay. then he can learn to sit back a little bit. So.
And then we need comfort and encouragement from you,
Yes.
and that is all.
That's all I want.
That's all I want. I just celebrated my 34th anniversary, so
you-
there
That's
I'm vintage.
Yeah,
You know,
been through it a
I'm a
little bit.
vintage.
Yeah.
I'm a vintage bride. So,
I
you know,
always
we're
wonder
getting
when I
there.
saw those older men, like in your family, that would kind of be sitting at the table and they're not saying much, and you they figured it out. Like it's like just sit back, shut your mouth. Things are a little easier. Like, I get it now.
well, it goes both ways
Right.
because I know I have to just let my husband vent. I mean, we are there to be encouragers and comforters. We don't necessarily have to fix everybody's problems. Anyway, oh my goodness, the places we go here, y'all.
Yes.
I said, before we do I've got one more ad to do. What is our hero of the week, Brian?
This one this week, and it's another one of those. I mean, we could do these every week, but with Veterans Day tomorrow, we want to recognize our veterans. And Tiffany and I were talking about yesterday. We both have veterans in our family that have served in combat and just over the years, and just cannot thank them enough for everything they do for us. The sacrifices that are made, not just by them, but by their families and their wives here or their husbands here at home, raising the kids by themselves, and just everything that they do for our country so that we're able to stay free, and the sacrifices they make, and then going and serving around the world to help people in need. And it's just, we could spend the entire morning talking about them, and just tomorrow's their day, and we just want to recognize everything they do for us and send them love. And if you got a veteran in your life, give them an extra hug and thank them for us tomorrow. So
Very good.
yes, yeah.
Hero of the week, our
Always,
veterans.
yeah,
We-
that's our hero always. But their day is
shout-out.
tomorrow, so special shout out for our veterans. Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with that, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and we'll kind of slide into
Yeah.
some things. I want to mention this. I don't know if you've missed me talking about this book, 77 Letters. This is about Vietnam, and I had the great honor to meet Susan Hunter. She was helping her mother with dementia, and remembered this letter writing campaign that her mother had embarked on during Vietnam. She had heard about it because she was born during Vietnam. It's called Operation Morale Booster. Well, she thought that let's get the letters out and maybe that'll help Mom's mind reignite. And so they got these letters out and they started reading them. And they started stacking them. This soldier, this many. And they had this one soldier, there were 77 letters. And I think it spanned 7 years in the heart of Vietnam. And not only do they have the letters he wrote, but the letters that her mother wrote, the correspondence back and forth. Breathtaking revelations about the Vietnam War, revelations about race relations. At the time, he was black, she's white, interracial marriage. I mean, just the plethora of things that are covered in this. It's breathtaking. I've been reading it. This is a play now on the stage. It'll be at Cornerstone Church next weekend. Wow. And it's free to Vietnam veterans. Free to Vietnam veterans. You need to check this out. Everybody's going to want to read this book. This will make it to the big screen. I don't have any doubt. Yeah. And it's incredible. So I just want to kind of plug that with that. But I need to go into our paid commercial, which is Cumberland Connect. Update me, brother. Where are you?
I got to have an update. My parents... my mom and stepdad, they just got it connected last week. They have had AT&T basically dial up for years, and they don't even know what to do with themselves.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
so I'm going to tell you something, too. They have a building behind their house that you couldn't even get phone service in before, and so they put something, it's extra $5 a month, and it was like an extender that they could put out there because he's got a television out there, and we watch games out there a lot.
Oh, man.
And it's like streaming. It's super fast. It's as fast as it is in the house. And so, like, for those that may have your property's kind of laid out weird, you have a bigger home or whatever, you may have a little something out back like that you do like that, or a basement or whatever.
A barn like me.
$5 little extender, and he said he's flying out there. So they're streaming, they're running, and they are absolutely loving it. And they got the smaller package, the $50 package is what they got, and they said it is super fast. Now they're coming from basically nothing to this, but they have raved about it. So,
I'm getting a gig.
Yeah.
I'm getting a gig for $80,
Blow it out.
1,000 megabits per second. I cannot wait. I call Caitlin. I'm like, when? You know, because I got somebody on the inside, and she's like, we'll let you know, Laverne, we're getting there. But there's one thing, too. A lot of people have questions about it, and they're wanting to know, okay, how's this going to affect me? They have workshops now. You can go to www.cumberlandconnect.org/workshops, and that will hook you up to let you, for people like your parents, to understand what's it going to mean to have high-speed internet when we've had just snail pace internet for so long. How can they help you? How can you do those extenders to extend your phone lines? I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And I'll say this, he said
so
he worked for Cumberland Electric, he's retired there, and so he said he was checking when your area opens up, he put in a request for service.
Yeah.
And so he said that sped it up a little bit. So check your area. They may be out there, and if you're interested in it, go ahead and put your request in, and that may speed up a little bit.
I think I've already done that.
You're right.
I called Caitlin the other day. I said, I think I've done all I can do.
Right.
She goes, yeah, you're good. And there's like a little line. There's a roll of coil, I think, that is the line that's hanging on my pole now. So
They're coming.
they're coming.
Yeah.
I can't
And he
wait.
said when he came out super quick, he had to come hook one thing up, and then he came back a couple days later and finished it. Good to go. So.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yep.
I can't wait. I'm hoping I have it by Christmas. That'll be my Christmas present. Cumberland Connect, if you want details, again, talk about those workshops, www.cumberlandconnect.org. You can get information there, put your zip code in, and find out when they're going to be in your neighborhood, or just, continue with that and do /workshops, and that'll tell you all about what you can do and how you're going to get this high-speed internet service with state-of-the-art gig-capable router that's included with internet service at no extra charge, 24/7, 365 days a year. You're going to get technical support, great stuff, great friends and great sponsors of this program. If you are a Cumberland Electric customer, you're going to have a high-speed internet access. It's coming. Get ready for it, and everybody's excited. So when you get a hold of them, tell them U-Turn sent you. Okay, guys.
And also, I got to say this. They're just finishing up their campaign. I think it's going to be their best one since I've been here. And also, I've been working with their community relations director, and she is constantly finding me little grant money. And so just randomly emailed me Monday and got us an extra $500 for the Give Thanks program.
Nice.
Let's do this. So proud partner of the United Way. Thank you for everything they do and all their employees that have contributed to our campaign this year.
Awesome company, awesome group, and so proud that they're part of what we do here at One Street Over. All right, guys, what else is going on?
We got a couple other things I want to give a shout out to. This Saturday from 10 to 2 at South Central Growers, they're having their poinsettia open house, and all proceeds from that benefit Master's Table, which is our only soup kitchen here in Robertson County where somebody can go get a hot meal any, Monday through Friday. So we're big supporters of Master's Table, and so go check out the poinsettia. They'll give you like a tour and
You get a free one.
Yeah, and you get a free one, and then any of the proceeds go towards Master's Table. So anyway, also, if Thanksgiving box isn't your thing, but you love toys, there's Kiwanis for Kids coming up, and wanted to give a shout out for that. If you're in need, or you know a family in need, you can go to the Family Resource Center at Bransford Elementary School Monday through Thursday, 8 to 1 p.m. and sign up. Or if you would like to donate, you can get a hold of me, and I'll get you in touch with how to donate to Kiwanis for Kids. So that's a way also to help out. But if you don't have money or the ability to do that, there are a lot of agencies that are in need of your time. And so I just wanted to say, I know for me, when my kids were little, I wanted to give back because I knew that's how I found joy in the world, but I didn't have any extra resources with money. But there are lots of ways that you can pitch in. So I just want to give a shout out to a few agencies that are looking for volunteers. My Father's House, we already talked a little bit about, and you can volunteer by doing a devotional or bringing in a meal or just sleeping there, and so there are lots of ways to help out there, either financially or just with your time. Willow Oak is looking for help. So if you're an artsy person and want to volunteer, that's awesome. Meals on Wheels is looking for people to deliver meals. Family Resource Center is looking for people to help fill teacher supply requests. So you can go in and just pull down the list and fill those out. Laundry Love is next week on Friday at Sisters Coin Laundry on Memorial Boulevard. We'd love for you to come and help us do laundry, or any monetary donations for that would be appreciated. Isaiah 117 is looking for volunteers. Raise Your Hand Reading Tutoring After School Reading Program is also looking for volunteers, and COPE is looking for help in the thrift store or to help do counseling for individuals that are in need. So lots of different ways. Whatever your talent, whatever your passion, whatever you're interested in, there is a way for you to give back here in Robertson County, and I just love seeing how this community comes together and helps each other out. So
outstanding. And I'm trying to figure out, Lee Marie sent me this benefit for a chili supper fundraiser that's happening 5 to 7 p.m. this Saturday, and I can't make out the name of who they are. NRFR, who is that? Do you know who that is? I
don't.
And okay, all right, Lee Marie, I'm having a hard time telling what this is. She just sent me this and said, "Hey, can you announce this?" And it's not popping up clear. So I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff going on around the community. And once I figure out who this is for, you can see what I'm saying. It's not. I can't read it, but if you scroll down there, you can see. Anyway, we're trying to help me out here, and it's not working here. But oh well. But
Be a good night for chili.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Here, this is the part I can't read. Maybe y'all can make that out. What is that?
Animal shelters. Is that a shelter?
Is it an animal shelter?
Is this like animal shelter supper benefits?
But
it's like the words are over the top of each other.
okay, so Lou Marie, if you can resend that,
Yeah.
we'll try to get that out for you. But in the last couple of minutes that we've got here, anything else that we're missing, guys?
Is that's your
That's
So
my
I just want to
list.
reiterate what she said about the volunteer opportunities, particularly around the holidays. I know a lot of companies and individuals as well. It's like, I want to get involved. That's when you kind of get that, for some reason, that feeling is like, I want to give back. We're so blessed in our home. I want to help others. Contact us. We can help plug you in. There are so many great partner agencies that we work with here that need help year round, but particularly around the holidays, the demand probably does go up a little bit. And so if you're wanting to get involved with your time, and like she said, you maybe like you don't have a little extra money that you can donate, but you can donate your time. There's plenty of opportunities out here, I promise you, and they're great organizations, and you're gonna fill up your bucket there. You know,
Absolutely.
just step in and you're like, well, I've never done that, or I don't know, you know, how's that gonna go, or whatever. I promise you, it's gonna be a good experience. And I'm gonna reiterate too for Laundry Love. I've volunteered there at times over the years. That is an excellent opportunity if you've got some time on a Friday morning to go out and help folks and really get your hands physically dirty in the community.
We
Wash
provide
some
gloves.
clothes.
We provide gloves.
Got
but
gloves. So what I'm talking about, really like
Yeah.
get in there, get your hands dirty a little bit, and get involved in the community, and you're gonna walk away feeling a little different on Friday after you leave. Just
Absolutely.
helping folks like that, and it's such a beautiful concept, but a simple concept. But like having clean clothes and having your laundry, like we all know that when you get all your laundry done at home, how good that feels. But imagine not having even maybe a place to stay, or definitely not a washer and dryer, and getting those clean clothes for a family. It's just applaud Tiffany for what she's doing, taking that over. And I know that's a lot of work. So
Yeah, but it's so rewarding. Like,
Yes.
and even my kids have enjoyed coming and helping out. So it's not like you don't have to be any specific age or whatever. I've brought my little ones, and they've helped take stuff out of the washer and put it in the dryer. And anyway, and also when you're talking about, you know, the holidays needing extra help, I know Salvation Army would love some help ringing bells. So
There's tons of stuff.
yeah, we don't have a huge Salvation Army presence in Robertson County, to the point that a lot of people don't know we have it here, but we do. And so if you would like some help plugging into Salvation Army with ringing bells and stuff, I know the hookups. So
you go.
Very good. You need to
Contact
get in
Tiffany.
touch with them at United Way if you want to know about all the nonprofits around town. And Lee Marie resent this flyer.
Okay.
It is for the annual Chili Supper fundraiser benefiting the North Robertson Fire and Rescue.
we misread that.
We were just
completely.
really
If you would
off.
have seen what we seen, it looked like hieroglyphics or something.
It did
Yeah.
not come through. And so this is 100% volunteer fire department. And so this is what it's benefiting. Volunteer fire department is going to be at the Barren Plains Baptist Church. And again, this is the annual Chili Supper fundraiser benefit, North Robertson Fire and Rescue. And it is happening Saturday, November 12th. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But go and check that out. And just love all of our things that are going on here in the county. Appreciate United Way. The girls.
The girls are here. The girls are here.
Thompson.
I take it as a
And
compliment.
thank you for joining us for One Street Over. I hope you'll join us tomorrow for Faith Friday. We'll just see what happens. You just never know. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless.